Up there in the front right now with the 42. Oh,
whoa,
trouble.
big crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano.
Oh, man.
And Eric Almirola.
Holy smoly.
Yeah, heavy damage there on Danica.
Those cars are killed.
And Almirola piling in at the last second and going up in the air. Patrick
Danica's
quickly out of her car.
Well, she's out in a hurry.
Woo. No kidding. The thing was on fire.
And looking rather upset. Joey Logano's car is not going to make it back to the garage. Neither is Eric Almirola. The window net down on both of those cars. Signal to the safety crews the driver is okay. Now Patrick and Logano were 11th and 12th. Almirola was back in 23rd. Cars stopped at the entrance of turn 1.
Let's see what happened here, guys.
Oh man, it looked like the 22 just got loose.
I think that.
Oh man, what a ride that Danica went on.
Danica took a heck of a ride into the wall, and then the 43 just plowed in there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. I think he committed to the outside lane. Pretty big impact by the 43. As you could see, Almirola sitting in his car. He hadn't quite gotten out of the car yet.
Eric Jones right behind them, right behind Logano.
Oh, something.
Wow. Something happened on that 22.
Something had to break.
Keep coming here. There you go.
22 violently turned left right into Danica.
Top is good.
Oh, right front.
Right front. Yeah, I saw it blow the fender up.
I think that was a brake rotor.
Are you thinking what?
Yeah, and that's why it turned left. I think that disintegrated the right front brake rotor. Right as he went to the brakes, you saw it come through the hood, and what that do? It just turned the car to the left because all it had was left front brake.
It turned it dead left. I know that.
Patrick went for a wild ride and then got pounded again by Almirola.
Mike, remember Joey Logano complained about his brakes early in the race.
Well, he made a nice recovery, Larry. Got himself back up here in the top 10 or 12 and had a pretty good car, looked like. Boy, this is huge right there. Look at that car come up off the ground. That's an impact.
The rear axle almost come out of, or the rear end housing almost come out of that car, the 43.
Now, Almirola was a good 10 spots behind this.
Yeah, he must have thought those cars were going to come down the track. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
See how.
That's big right there, but then what's that?
Yeah, that's why Danica jumped out so fast. Look at all the flames. Big fire there. All she could see was flames. She knew she needed to get out of that car as soon as she possibly could.
Wow.
Just got super loose, or maybe there were some fluids.
Jeff, I saw debris back there. I think Almirola ran over something that prevented him from turning that car down the racetrack.
See, he was just in a big slide.
She's had a frustrating season.
She has, and I think when she sees what I don't think Joey did anything wrong. I think he had a mechanical failure that caused this.
But boy, that was a scary ride that Danica went through. The way, I mean, you're at one of the highest speed parts of the racetrack. How it turns it to the right, sends it straight into the wall.
Now Eric Almirola is still in the car, catching his breath. He dropped the window net to signal he was okay. Removed his helmet, but he's taken a little time to compose himself here as the safety workers wait.
Mike has a big impact, buddy.
That was a hard impact. But I did see a debris field behind Danica's car, and I think it's reasonable to assume that he ran over something, wasn't able to cut that car down to the racetrack, down low on the racetrack.
I agree, Mike, and when you see that car hit as hard as it did and the back of the car comes up in the air, that's just a huge lick, a huge impact. Those cars are all three just destroyed.
That is a very somber look at what happens when things go wrong at 200 miles per hour. Safety workers assisting Eric Almirola, who we could see was conscious and talking to the workers inside the race car. The AMR medical crew, new this year to NASCAR, along with the Speedway rescue crew. Looks like they're going to do some surgery on the roof of that car to aid in him climbing out.
It was just an incredible snap when he hit those cars, and to see the car come off the ground like that, I can't tell you how much energy that takes to make those cars come up, get that car up in the air like that.
Especially when you see the rear end housing and the drive shaft, you have to remember, is connected to that, which connects up to the engine. When you see that violently moving like that,
that's huge.
You know, there's a possibility that could be making some kind of contact with you know, where the seat's mounted and other areas inside the cockpit as well.
The roll cage, the 6 or 7 point harness system for Almirola, the helmet with its tether to the head and neck support, which helps with a frontal impact. And Eric continues to talk to the safety crew. So he is conscious, alert, participating with them, but because of deformation to the roll cage, they're going to take some action here to aid in his being able to get out of the car. Logano's car first slid slightly right and then violently turned to the left. And you will see that by the time Eric Almirola gets to this, his car is sliding out of control.
So if we can go back and look, it's back here. Here he is, way back here.
And he's trying to get slowed down. He sees that. And the car just goes into a slide. It's just sort of a controlled slide, but unfortunately sending him right in to the cars, you know, that are in this crash, to the 10, the 22. You see that rear end housing?
Yeah.
How violent that was.
It's such a snap. I mean, you just a frontal impact like that, and the driver is pushed forward immediately. It just snaps you.
And by the time he got near them, there was certainly enough debris on the racetrack that could have cut one of his tires and prevented him from cutting that car to the bottom.
I mean, in watching this, I just have to believe that rear end housing, maybe the drive shaft came disconnected and protruded or caused some kind of heavy damage or impact inside that cockpit.
Yeah, it could be, Jeff, but I just think that sudden impact where you're head on like that,
yeah,
it just puts your body in such a position it just snaps you.
The side headrests and the head and neck restraint are designed to work in a frontal crash, a straight ahead frontal crash. And he did hit Logano at a substantial angle. So you see he's got the net down before he's even come to a halt. So it appears Eric has been conscious throughout this entire time and speaking with and helping the rescuers.
And these safety workers, they are trained to do these kinds of things. And they don't want to take they take every precaution to get that driver out of the car without him having to do